Thank you for joining Disco Fam. This is Discover Crypto. I'm your host, DZ, and today we're talking about a $500,000 Bitcoin because BlackRock deemed it so. They're saying the dollar is dead, and they're saying you need to go to the flight to quality, which is Bitcoin. It's a Friday. Today's a great weekend. It's going to be a great show. I'm here with TJ. TJ, you're back. You took a little break. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm feeling good. Happy to be here. Happy to be seeing prices pump again. Overnight prices moving for once. Seeing things move when the stock market's closed. That's a new adjustment. So yeah, I'm really starting to get excited for this bull run that's coming. It's going to be epic.
Folks, did you happen to watch last night's video? If you did not watch last night's video, I would say, maybe turn on notifications, maybe hit that like button, make sure we pop up in your feed. Because TJ, if we share my screen here, I put this video out there. This is bullish for SWE. Mega pump follows every single time. And as we roll into the market watch, what is the biggest gainer today?
Look at that.
It is SWE. Now, TJ, yet again, asked me, how much SWE did I buy before I bought that, made that video?
How much?
None, because I had a little bag from the past because I had a lower entry point and I started looking at the current entry point. And I was like, I don't know if I like this entry point. And boy, am I regretting it now. I knew it was a strong project. I knew it was going to pump. I did the data. I did the math. But I didn't pull the trigger there. Also, I usually buy on Fridays.
One day early. Huh?
One day early. I should have just sandbagged the video and then maybe it wouldn't have pumped. But folks, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give you financial freedom. I'm here to help your retirement. I want your kids to have so many Bitcoin. Their kids' kids are like, Grandpa, Grandma, they were legends. And the legend began by them hitting the like button, everyone. All right, let's go.
We want all of our viewers, that meme, right? With the kids sitting and the guys laugh like, man, Mom, how do we do this? Or Dad, how do we get here? And it's like, we bought Bitcoin before everybody else did. That's what we want for all of you guys.
Yeah, kids would jump in my lap, so I know all about roaches, is a quote that someone said one time that I found funny. All right, Bitcoin is now flat. It was red. I just refreshed. We were down 0.4%. You can see we got a little bit of a pump just in the last hour, continuing this bullish I would say phase that we're in right now, starting to feel like alt season. We told you to get into alts. We said alts are going to start running, and then that's exactly what we're seeing today. Also, we're bullish on ETH. I should have just market bought ETH like a dork. BNB is up as well. We have Solana. Solana is up 5% right now. Doge was also in the red. Now it is green, barely 0.1%. Cardano up slightly. It's only up 0.7%. Avalanche kicking butt, taking names. It is up 4.5%. But we saw the biggest gainers. We saw SWE leading the way, and we saw Tau, and we saw Aptos, IMX, LitoDAO, and Say finally trying to follow SWE here. Of these, VeChain is
blast
pumping.
from the past. New logo. Look at that.
Yeah, new logo, and now almost half a nickel. Man, can you imagine? We're in a bullish period. It's almost 2025, and I would have told you in 2021. Yeah, VeChain will still be less than half a nickel. I probably wouldn't have believed you. If we look at the VeChain chart here, yeah, VeChain quickly went up to a quarter. I thought a nickel was going to be strong support. You can see a nickel was strong support. And they're like, nah, I'll see your nickel and I'll raise you a penny. No, then a penny became support, penny and a half. Right now, 2.3 cents. Will VeChain have another leg up, or is this too old, too much of a dinosaur or to be resurrected? Can we have a Jurassic Park, or is it going to remain a fossil?
Yeah, that's a good question. Something where we're talking about a lot here with older projects. I am concerned about some of these older projects. VeChain is one I would put in that category. Can it pump? Sure, it will probably go up some, as all altcoins or many altcoins do in the future with the bull run. But it's not going to be one of the top performers. I think there are a lot of other projects that are more interesting tech-wise. I mean, what's the one thing everybody always says about VeChain?
Logistics.
No, supply chain. But then it's
Chinese coin.
They're partnered with the UFC. That's they've got this UFC sponsorship.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, okay, and what is it? They've had that for several years, and what have they gotten out of it? And I actually believe that contract's almost up. I believe it is up next year. So,
well, I mean, people have spilt blood on the logo. That has to count for something, right? When there's blood in the streets, that's when people buy, and when there's blood on the sheets with the VeChain logo, maybe that's when they buy.
I don't know.
It rhymes, TJ, so it must work.
Well, I was gonna say you're a buyer when there's blood on the sheets. That's what you're saying.
Look, man, that time of the month, don't stop DZ.
Okay.
Hey, all right, let's look at the biggest losers, everyone. I don't know why. Why'd you paint me into that red corner,
sorry.
TJ? You painted me into a red corner. Now I'm feeling like Carrie.
I know.
All right, Beam is the biggest loser today. It is down 5%. We have Helium. It is down 3.5%. Caspa is down 2.7%. And TIA finally decided to cool down. It was up 46% for the week. So I don't think the holders are, really feeling too much pain at a 2.4% pullback there. I'm wondering, is that the biggest gainer for the entire week? SWE, TIA, followed by Tau. And then we got a meme coin getting a 40% pump right there. So we're seeing a nice multitude of different projects pumping. We have the AI Bitcoin is what they call Tau. Do you know why they call it the AI Bitcoin?
Why is that?
They say AIs are going to pay each other in Tau, and they'll treat it as their digital gold. I don't know if that's going to ring true, but that is the selling narrative for Tau right there. Becker must be crying because of Beam. Well, Becker will be crying when Cardano has its day. I do think it's going to happen eventually there. Everybody, make sure you're hitting that like button. We're going to get into some charts as well. We're going to look at Bitcoin. TJ, where are we on some likes?
We're at 90 likes. Slow start today. So we got about 600 people in there. Guys, if you could hit that like button.
It's Friday. Let's go ahead and spread the love. Let's shock the YouTube overlords out there. All right, so you can see we're still within the range, but we blasted through the midway point. I said, this is a very strong possibility. We're going to see that happen because that's what happened right here. We just blasted through the midway point. Last two times, or basically every single time, I guess you could say, every single time we come through to this midway point and we just kind of blast through with a lot of strength, we end up touching the top of the channel. You can see this time was actually they tried to fake you out. Oh, we ain't going to the top. We're going back down to the bottom. And then no, it surely as heck touched the top of the channel there. So I do think now I'm leaning a little bit bullish. I am leaning that we are going to come touch the range up here. TJ, what do you think? Are we heading back down to the midway point or are we touching the top? I would say it's close to a 50-50 shot here.
Yeah, I mean, we are. I mean, it's tough right in the middle of that channel there. I think we do have some bullish tailwinds behind us. I think, we will probably wrap up if we can hold above 63, but like similar levels to where we're at right now, kind of mid 63s, pushing up towards 64. If we get some bullish action today, I think if we close today around those numbers, chop it up over the weekend. I think we open similarly next week. And then I think through the end of next week, we could move up to the higher end of that range. I do think, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. I see it's on their master strategy pump or MicroStrategy. I know they made some big purchases, but this BlackRock report has a lot of people talking. I know your video, I think it's tomorrow coming out.
Yeah, we got a video going out tomorrow. I break down the whole BlackRock report. I find the 3 most compelling slides. It's got pages and pages and pages. I'm going to look at the 3 most compelling slides. We're going to pull up the report later on in this stream. There's something I didn't cover in the video coming out tomorrow. I want to share that with you folks as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're really out there pushing Bitcoin so hard right now, advertising it so hard, going on TV and talking about it, pushing it to all of their clients, telling them they need to put it in their portfolio. So that is extremely bullish in not just the cycle, but with everything else going on. So I really do think, we're going to see next week prices moving up and we get towards the top of that range. And I think as we get towards October, we're going to be breaking out of that range. But what do you think time-wise on that?
Time-wise, Q4, I know this is very, very broad. Q4 is when I'm feeling kind of bullish. I think we got a lot of macro events that we don't really have control over. We got 2 more rate cuts, so that's going to have a big influence. Also, we have an election, and these things are going to have big influences. Someone said pull up FIDA. This is the Solana name service. We were talking about FIDA all through this low range. I think once it got a little bit of excitement, I said, this is one to keep on your radar. And you see they had a massive pump, and that's why you're seeing a little bit of a large dump today. Someone else had the question, is it too late to buy SWE? That is literally the question that I answer in this video right here. We just put it out. It's 14 hours ago. I know it's trite to say, you got to go watch the video, but I do a detailed breakdown. I give you all the reasons, so I don't want to just, say, do this, do X, do Y, do Z. Go watch the video, make your own choice. I think you're going to walk away much more informed afterwards than you were beforehand. So if you're bullish on SWE, or if you say, should I buy it? Is it too late? Go watch last night's video, folks. Really, really good info in that. Now, back to BlackRock. Let's talk about the BlackRock. So BlackRock reveals it's quietly preparing for a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis. So what do you read when you hear a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis? What does this mean for layman's, TJ?
It means they're concerned about the debt, the federal debt, and the sustainability, the long-term sustainability of the dollar.
And I would say to simplify it even further, they're basically saying Dollar equals dead. The dollar, dead is dead. Dead is dead. The dollar is dead, everybody. That's an old reference there. So they're saying here, Bitcoin suddenly surged higher following the Fed Reserve's first post-pandemic interest rate cut. That was predicted to send Bitcoin's price skyrocketing. Now, as fears swirl that the dollar is on the verge of a total collapse, BlackRock's warned of growing concerns around the $35 trillion debt pile that's predicted to drive institutional interest in Bitcoin. It's definitely going to drive a lot of interest in Bitcoin, folks. $35 trillion. You've heard me talk about just the debt. Interest payments is $1 billion every 8 hours. That is insane. That is just the interest payments. That's not what our debt is actually growing. Have you looked at the national debt website in a while?
It's been a minute.
I looked at it yesterday, so it might pop up pretty quickly here. So yeah, I was looking at the national debt. I pull it up for this video that I am working on here because when you look at the national debt, it's scary. It's hitting levels. I'm trying to find the chart here. I might have to look for a while, but maybe I'll pull it up later. But
just
Google 35 trillion. What are you gonna say?
It should be a federal debt clock or something like that.
Clock, that is right. Yeah, and it has the big number on the top left.
There it is.
Yep, there you go. Big number on the top left. Look, it is just growing every millisecond. Not every hour, every day, every minute, every millisecond. It's growing just people's grandparents' net worth. Okay, not even your net worth. I'm talking about your boomer class grandparents sitting on that expensive house. Their net worth every millisecond, it seems like it is just growing here. So $35 trillion. They say this is a very, very bad issue when it comes to our dollar. Michael Saylor's posting about this Blackrock report here. For investors, Bitcoin is a unique diversifier. They have some excellent research here. Like I said, tomorrow's video, we break it down. I have it right here. I said there's one thing I want to show you that's not in the video, and it's this graphic right here. Now, I guess I could front run some info. We talk about this chart. We talk about this chart, and we talk about the returns as well. So we talk about that chart right there. So that's what I'm going to cover in that video. I got two things I want to show you today. So what makes Bitcoin relevant? So this is the challenges around money. Prone to inflation and debasement given a non-fixed supply. What about Bitcoin? Fixed supply of 21 million units with supply growth declining every 4 years. What's a problem with money? Difficult to transact across borders. What about Bitcoin? Near instantaneous global transfer of value. And then last but not least, what is the problem with money? Access is limited to one's particular country, controlled by a central authority. Bitcoin, first truly open access global monetary system. So we see stark differences that BlackRock is expressing to its clients. We know Bitcoin's valuable. You know Bitcoin's valuable. The dorks in your Discord server know Bitcoin's valuable. But does your neighbor know it? Does the cashier at the grocery store know it, even though they need to know it more than anybody? Do your parents know it? Do your friends and family know it? For most of us, the answer is no. They have no idea what's happening. They have no idea the dollars in their wallet or in their purse or in their bank account loses value every day. And it's a hidden tax. It's a stealth tax on their time and on their value as a human being. And BlackRock is signaling to the masses, Bitcoin is that flight to quality. And so this is a very, very major move that is happening right now. One more thing. I said there's two things I did want to show you. This is accelerating U.S. debt growth. But I have an issue with this. I don't like how they're treating the y-axis. Let's just do a typical regular chart with a regular y-axis. This is our actual debt. When I click on it, I don't know if you can see the whole screen. This was our debt in trillions of dollars. What happened in the 70s, TJ?
We got off the gold standard.
Oh, and it's almost like that had a very bad effect on the value of your dollar. This is our national debt. And once you look at it in this chart, Bitcoin is the escape hatch. Bitcoin is the answer, everybody. What are your thoughts when you see this insane debt?
I mean, it is just insane. My thoughts are, I mean, that's just astronomical. And really the thought that goes through your head is that you can't fix that. Only way you fix that is you start over with something new. And I think that's kind of what BlackRock's at right now. We have a $35 trillion debt problem, and the only solution is moving to a totally new financial system.
I got a fever.
Yeah.
And the only prescription is more Bitcoin.
More Bitcoin. Yeah.
There's a second prescription. More like buttons. Where are we at on the likes?
We need a Bitcoin. We need a cowbell with a Bitcoin logo on it.
Cowbell. I need more cowbell. They are asking for us to spin the ball.
The disco ball? We don't have the disco.
We don't
A
have
lot
it
of
up.
people have complained about that disco ball being gone, by the way.
It was like around for a short amount of time, and then there's the people still clamoring for it. It's
Yeah.
like clear Pepsi.
We got to find a place to put it. I
That's
guess.
not a good example of that. All right, just in, the mad lad himself, Michael Saylor. I used to dress like him. I'm dressing a little more casual with the Buy Bitcoin t-shirt on today. Michael Saylor plans to raise another $1 billion to buy even more Bitcoin. And if you're wondering, yeah, that's right. He just got done buying a bunch of Bitcoin.
Like today or yesterday.
Yeah, this is that post was from this morning, actually. MicroStrategy, this is kind of the stats. They bought 7,420 Bitcoin.
Jeez.
I like how they ended at 420. Was that planned?
Yep.
I feel like it was, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the odds of, the numbers ending on 1,000, it's a 0.1% chance that they would end at 420.
Well, just put it this way. What do you think is more likely? They rounded to 420 or they rounded to 458.2?
Yeah, exactly. So they bought that much in 6 days, currently hold more than 250,000 Bitcoin, above 1% right here. But there's some bad news from this. A lot of people are saying, this is actually bearish. And let me tell you why this. All right, off the rip, TJ, does this seem bearish?
No.
Are you ready for me to explain why it's bearish? Do you think the people are ready for
Sure.
some pepper, some salt here? So Waz Crypto kind of has a good take here. So Tree News, they tweeted out MicroStrategy bought 7,420 Bitcoin between September 13th and September 19th. That is this range right here. Waz brought up a good point. So half this run-up was fueled by Saylor furiously aping. Great, LOL. This news should provide the correction people are waiting for entries, in my opinion. So he is saying because the massive buy pressure, now that Michael Saylor's got the purchase done, we don't know how long it'll take him to get that $1 billion and then start buying. Let's just assume it doesn't happen for the next week or two, or even for the rest of the month. We might see a correction since we no longer have the Saylor buying pressure. Could you see... I'm predicting, I think we might get a little bit of a flush out to the downside this weekend, just with all the open interest and just kind of heading in to Q4.
Yeah, I think that's a fine observation. Actually, it'd be interesting to pull up the liquidations a little bit after this and see kind of what those are looking like. I do think I wouldn't call that bearish necessarily. I would say, it may take the wind out of the sails slightly of people getting a lot of this FOMO. Okay, hey, we got rate cuts, we're rallying, we're going straight to 70K, we're going straight to 100K. Oh, wait a minute. It was just a massive Saylor buy that pushed us from, 59 to 62. Maybe the FOMO dissipates a little bit. That's not necessarily bearish in my opinion. It's just more, kind of not as bullish. So I think we're still overall very bullish into Q4. I think it's going to be Uptober for sure in October. And we're going to just continue to, work our way up through this range. Once we break out of that range and head back to 70K, I think we start to see a lot of fireworks. And then I've been saying for a long time, once we hold above 70K, I think it's a very fast move to 100K.
Yeah, and I think we do some sort of peak below the all-time high, and it starts going lower. So all the bears can come out of the woodwork and see, we didn't print a new all-time high. Open those shorts, and then they get wrecked as we make that major move to the upside. I did pull up the liquidation heat map here. We're looking at the 12 hours, so this is the most recent leverage positions that have been opened. We still have slightly more pressure to the upside, meaning exchanges and the whales tend to make a lot of money if these people get liquidated, and they typically make a lot of money. And so the markets might try to force us up to about 64,530. If we go to like a larger time period, like a 3-day, still a little bit more stronger magnets to the upside. I'm not saying we won't go down. It's just the magnet's stronger to the upside.
But is that 70 there? Is that yellow towards the top? I mean, it's not as strong as it was. So just so you guys understand the way this works, when the price is moving up towards some of those higher levels, it's a lot of people opened shorts around that 70K level. So the lower the price went, that meant the more money there is to make for the exchanges and market makers when it goes back up there. And this is part of why we see those moves happen so quickly, because what starts to happen as the prices get closer. So say you took a short from 70K, you wrote it all the way down to 58. You're in massive profit, right? And you're just like, I'm hanging on to this thing. I'm doing great. I'm going to buy a yacht. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
someone said 42K, so I'm holding on to it.
Yeah, I'm holding on. Okay. And then as the price creeps back up, you're more likely to get liquidated, obviously, once it goes back above 70K. So you might close that short in a smaller profit at say 64 or 67, 68, and that's what starts to make that price move very quickly. As those shorts get closed, it's not the same as a buy, but it actually does impact the chart, you know, similar to a buy of Bitcoin, because it's basically taking a short off the books.
Yes.
So that's how you can see those moves happen very quickly when we get close to those inflection points. So that's what's going to be interesting. The closer we get to the top of this range, do people start to de-risk and get out of those trades, or do they leave it open and it becomes really juicy for the market makers?
I'm leaning towards, you know, we are going to get that little leverage washout, but with this Blackrock report, I'm leaning that people are going to hold on. I think that people are kind of waiting for this bullish Q4, and they're looking at some of the Blackrock data points saying, you know, this is just kind of pointing to a bullish direction, an upside projection, and, you know, one of those God candles that we really need here. Chanaka looking sharp in his PFP. No disco ball needed. Dizzy's head looks like a disco ball.
Oh,
funny. Ha 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 ha. I'm dying on the inside. All right, let's talk about you know, some futures action real quick. Bitcoin near 64K as Bitcoin futures attract billions, and more importantly, Bank of Japan's hike pause bumps risk assets.
Yeah.
It just happened early this morning while you were probably asleep. They did not change their rates. They're still at 0.25. Everybody,
we didn't talk about it a lot this week, obviously, but that was another big. The Fed cut here was a big deal, and then the Bank of Japan not changing their stance is important, because there's that. If you guys remember that whole carry trade of all this currency unwind, and if they start doing too much with their rates, things could fall apart really fast. So that was long term bullish. I mean,
yeah, just on that real quick, you know, so it briefly crossed 64K before pairing gains as the Bank of Japan kept the policy unchanged in a move that avoided a repeat of July's market bloodbath, which followed its decision to hike rates. So a lot of people were transferring currency into the Japanese yen and just borrowing it for free, and then they would transfer back and then just make all these basically interest-free investments. And then they no longer had interest-free investments. They had to pay that 0.25% usury tax there on it. Bitcoin once again testing the 200-day SMA, simple moving average, a critical level for confirming the bull run. Historically, failures to reclaim support, as seen in 2020, 2018, and 2014, led to significant corrections. Watch closely. Rejection here could signal trouble for Bitcoin. So we got a very strong make or break moment happening with this line right there.
what's they're calling the key point? 64K.
Yeah, it's going to be a smidgen above 63. So yeah, it looks like it's right there, 64. We can do a little bit of a closer analysis here. I believe that's on the daily. I believe I have the 50 SMA. If not, here's a good learning moment. So I gotta go large just so I can hit indicators. I'm gonna go back to small screen in a second. And if you want to find the 50, you just type in 50 and it should have a 50, 100, 200 pop up, the one that I use. And boom, we can see it. Now you could play with the lines and make them a little bit thicker. Hopefully some of you folks can see it. But yeah, we hit against it. We definitely need to burst through. Looks what happened. You know, we fell through it there.
Man, we wicked right to it. Look at that.
Wicked right to it. That would have been a good place to close that long. You know, maybe take some profits off the sidelines there.
That's the 50-day?
Yes, this is the 50.
Interesting. Ugin Sky, if we don't break, he's in the chat, he says, if we don't break 64.5K by end of week, we're going to dump back to 58K. I'm interested to see what.
Now, that's going to be, you know, the high end of this dotted line right there. But I would say this would be the first place to kind of pause. But if I kind of look here, wow, let's go to the 4 hour. I want to see this price action a little bit more closely. We fell through that line pretty decisively. Look how strong we wicked below it. So you can see the dotted line just barely right there. This 4 hour candle crashed right through it. But then you can see the next 4 hour candle peeked its head above the blue line like, open those longs. Nope, you got wrecked. Open those longs. No, you're getting wrecked. Open those longs. Yeah, you're getting wrecked there. But then it is supporting. I mean, it's respecting the levels though. But yeah, watch out for those wicks. That's why you got to have not high leverage, folks, if you are going to be leverage trading. Now we had some ancient Bitcoins move. This is actually close enough to Satoshi era. You know the definition of Satoshi era? It's 09 to 2011.
Yep.
I don't think 2010 and 2011 should count.
Why is that?
It's just too old. It's too old at that point. Bitcoin's network was too old. But this was mine the first freaking month. You know, the white paper was published October 08. Bitcoin Core went live January 09. This is actually OG ancient coins here. This was a wallet that mined the Bitcoin, of course, and they just moved 250 Bitcoin worth $16 million mined in the OG days of Bitcoin right there.
Yeah, and the reason, you know why they go through 2011, right?
Because that's when he quit doing messages.
That's when he disappeared. So I mean, that's how they're defining, like, it's the era that he was interacting with Bitcoiners, I guess. So
yeah, I can't remember his final message. It was like, I think he said, "This might be my final message," right? Like, goodbye or something. I can't recall. Some of his early messages are insane. Earmuffs for the children. He considered calling it Titcoin. This like actual emails you could read. So like, I don't know.
Good thing he didn't.
Yeah, some good lore in the ancient Satoshi emails or forum messages. Bitcoin really close to exploding to new all-time high, says Kevin Svensson. Here he has the timeline. Folks, it is Q4. I still think Bitcoin sets new all-time highs in the coming Q4. I think it's likely in Q4 we hit new all-time highs. It's going to be some chop right around that new all-time high, still at a slightly higher level. And then going into the new year, that's when we might start to see things begin to change. So it seems like he is saying closer to Christmas is when it's going to feel like Christmas time for Bitcoin. Are you a happy holidays guy, TJ? What about you, Chad? Are you a happy holidays?
What do I say? No,
or you say Merry Christmas?
I actually say Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday. It just kind of depends.
I try to be inclusive. I usually just go with you'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah,
that's my go-to.
That's a classic. Did you watch that a lot as a kid?
My mother was obsessed with it. Yeah, I probably watched it once a year.
My aunts and uncles, where it was extended, like it was definitely, it was when it's on that marathon Christmas movie, you're watching Home Alone and
all right, that's a good time.
Story.
Nice little sidetrack. Chat, tell me the best Christmas movie. I think we're gonna get some diehards.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, that's always comes up. But yeah, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Yeah,
I like. It's a dark horse. It's a sleeper contender here. No one really ever mentions it. It's an early Ryan Reynolds movie. What was it called? Where he was fat in high school, then he gets skinny, and he's like trying to, date the crush up from his high school. Just Friends.
Really?
Just Friends is a really underrated Christmas movie. Die Hard. Yeah, first one out the gate was Die Hard.
Home Alone's good. Yeah,
Home Alone. How did I forget Home Alone?
You don't get it, or you don't?
No, how did I forget? Yeah, Home Alone is probably really high.
I like. Like if you want more modern, I mean, I like Elf is a solid one. The Grinch with Jim Carrey. What else you got?
Christmas Vacation.
It's a Wonderful Life. If you want an old school one, I actually watched that for the first time in a long time last Christmas, I think.
Good leg lamp. I like lamp. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about a little moonshot math for Bitcoin.
Let's do it.
Spelling above 150K in the near term, everyone. So Bitcoin bull pennant breakout here is from Titan of Crypto. A massive bull pennant is breaking out to the upside on the monthly time frame. This could be the start of a major move. I pulled it up because why not? So here we are. We're looking at the monthly. So if you don't know how bull flag pennant runs, you measure the flagpole from the breakout, and then that will give you your next target. And you can see right here, $165,000 Bitcoin. Pretty much, yeah. What do you have? 164, 170. Yeah, so right around the same level, 165K. To me, this is cheating. Let me tell you why. Because we're using log charts. I hate using bull flag pennants for log charts. That's what gives the XRP community the $589 or one of the reasons they see insane targets for XRP, like triple digits above $100. It's like, yeah, you're measuring a bull flag pennant breakout from like 018, But anyways, once you go to the regular price chart, that's when it shrinks considerably, everyone. Now we're looking at something a little bit more tethered to reality here. If we were to measure this move, we're looking at $110,000 Bitcoin. Still bullish.
Super bullish. But there's so many good Christmas movies in here.
Oh, yeah. Four Christmases.
The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus is really good.
That was one of my favorites for a long time as a kid.
I like that movie. Yeah. Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I can do Yoshi, and I can do Tim the Toolman Taylor.
All right, let's hear your Yoshi. Okay, that's pretty good.
That's it, though. That's I did it like the other day. Where's the raw? There you go, right there.
Well, real quick,
Bad Santa's good too.
Bad Santa is good. Real quick though, while you're talking about Bitcoin prices, you're looking at 110 there. coming back to that BlackRock report, they're talking about a potential dollar collapse, right? They're talking about preparing for.
Wait, TJ, you talking about this thing?
Hold on.
I mean, I guess it could happen.
Right. If that doesn't reverse its if that trend continues,
wheelbarrows to buy a loaf of bread.
Well, yeah,
Weimar Republic.
Let's talk about how high. I mean, a lot of people like to talk about, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? And it's like, oh, we're sitting at 67K. We look at those graphs. No, it's not too late to buy it. It's definitely, like, we can clearly see on a chart it going to 100K. But if we actually start to experience a dollar collapse crisis, a federal debt crisis here, not just in the United States,
where basically no one wants to buy our debt.
Right, or
they fear
debt
our
around the
ability to
world.
pay.
I mean, this is not just U.S. debt. I mean, the U.S. has a major debt
global
problem. China has a major debt problem.
Except for the Swedish kronar. They're probably going to
basically, all of the major financial nations of the world for the last, since the 70s, basically, or even longer, are having a major debt crisis. So if we were to see a lot of the world's value leave the current debt system and go to Bitcoin, as BlackRock is predicting, is 500K Bitcoin reasonable?
Yes.
Is it possible?
It is possible. And here's the thing. 500K is possible without a debt collapse, because 500K is lower than the Bitcoin price would be if it matched the price of gold, if the market cap of Bitcoin reached gold. Right now, as high as gold is, last numbers I was looking at, you're looking at around closer to a $800,000 Bitcoin.
Dang.
So I do think there's a world in which the digital gold eclipses the metal gold. Just as the world turns more digital, maybe AI agents are paying each other, amongst themselves. And so if we have Bitcoin match gold's market cap and we have a dollar collapse, well, that means gold's market cap is going to be 30 trillion, 50 trillion. Then that would also give Bitcoin a 30 trillion, $50 trillion price range. 42 trillion would be $2 million a coin, right?
Wow.
21 trillion would be $1 million a coin. And so you can do the math that way because there's 21 million coins. There's worlds where $1 million Bitcoin is doable, but it is that scenario where it's like, yeah, but what's a loaf of bread cost? Sure, $50. That's not the point. Bitcoin still eclipsed and allowed me to escape inflation. And, so that's why you got to get in Bitcoin, equities, real estate, whatever hard assets that you can get your hands on.
And I will say from experience, this stuff does take a little bit longer to play out than you think. When I read that headline, my first reaction was like, finally, like I've been saying this for 8 years, and now it's just now starting to actually be a headline. Like, this is the stuff that, if you're here, if you're a Bitcoiner, if you're in crypto, you probably have been telling your friends and family this for a long time. And now that BlackRock comes out and says it, people might actually listen. But this is an inevitability. They can't continue on the path that they're on right now. They have to make a change. So it's coming. That price of Bitcoin is very likely to happen, but it's not going to happen next year. It's probably not going to happen in 3 or 4 years. It might take 6 years. It might take another 8 years. But I do think, 500,000, 800,000, and potentially $1 million Bitcoin will happen in the not too distant future. Because you got to remember, an investing 5 to 10 year time horizon is very short. If you're talking
very short. A lot of more movies here. One House Productions. I'm not showing up for your Christmas dinner. Remember the Christmas scene in Full Metal Jacket? I am in a world of Bitcoin. We have a lot of other good ones out there as well, folks. You could hear the hate in DZ's voice when he talks about XRP. I still hold XRP. I don't have any hate. I hate when people expect it to go to $100 quickly, because I feel like they're missing out on faster horses, and I just want them to be able to better their lives. And I think if they hold too much of their funds in XRP, that's going to prevent that. I do think XRP is going to pump. I think other coins are going to pump harder. Don't think it's going to $100. So when I see someone who thinks it's going to 100, I kind of just want to talk them off the ledge. Larry Fink versus Ray Finkel. I haven't seen him kick a ball. I will say that. All right, we have some more stuff here for Bitcoin. The spot ETFs for Bitcoin. Huge inflow day yesterday. $158 million. A lot of eyes are going to be on what happens today. And what happens today is going to have I would say, a large impact on the weekend's price action, especially Friday evening and Sunday, basically Monday morning, late Sunday. Those are typically 2 high volatility periods. You have the Western worlds just out on a Friday night, so it doesn't take much liquidity to move the markets. Then you have a lot of the world just asleep Sunday, late Sunday, early Monday. Also doesn't take a lot of liquidity to move the markets there. We could see huge moves. I just want to point this out. There's going to be a lot of volatility. $1.6 billion in options expire after the cut. That's just today. So we got a billion opened in just the last 24 hours. This is kind of what I was predicting as well. Will Clemente, he's coming in. He agrees with me. Wouldn't be surprised if the market did a quick flush and run. I'm not talking about, you're at Taco Bell and you had too much fire verde sauce. This is just going to be a quick leverage washout, be like one of those scam wicks. That's when you see that 4-hour candle. The body is like this, but the wicks are like that. That's basically people just getting wrecked that have basically over leveraged positions there. This is pretty bullish as well. We've talked about this in the past. The negative Coinbase premium. This is signaling strong buying pressure on Binance. During the current upward trend, the fact that Coinbase premium is negative while the price isn't falling suggests there's strong buying pressure occurring on Binance. PJ, who's buying on Binance?
Well, Eastern nations, Justin Sun. I don't know if you saw the news about the Just Lend, I believe is the product that had a lot of that wrapped BTC, and somebody redeemed like $2 billion worth of it back into regular Bitcoin on that. And a lot of people obviously suspect it's Justin Sun trying to demonstrate that it actually does work and you can redeem it.
You can redeem without a cascading event. That liquidation event.
Obviously, and whether it's him or not, that does speak volumes. Seeing somebody take $2 billion out at least gives you some confidence. And that person, I think it was something like made $1 billion in like a couple months or 2 years or something like that. It was crazy.
Big Tip Shark, he raises a credible point, levying criticism at me and TJ here. We skipped Halloween and Thanksgiving. We're just as bad as Walmart.
How do we go straight to Christmas? Good point.
Yeah, I apologize.
All right, what's your favorite Halloween movie? I guess I just don't think it's going to be as lively as a conversation, but there's plenty of Halloween movies out there.
You got the classics. Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Eric
or
Voorhees'
Mike
brother.
Myers.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's really not that many good ones comparatively. All right, we have some Trump news real quick. I just want to give this a quick glance. The SEC commissioner, not Gensler, gives cautious nod to Donald Trump's DeFi project. It's very vague terminology. She just said Godspeed. So, so according to Eleanor Tourette was saying Mark Uyeda has spoken about Trump's DeFi project. Godspeed. So I guess he's just wishing a smooth road ahead without any direct comments on the merits. He said SEC is a disclosure regulator, not a merit regulator. Warned against expecting the agency to make value judgments about specific crypto projects. I guess if they were to speak about a specific crypto project, they have Bitcoin, they have Ethereum, and it might be Liberty World Financial as well. I could see Gensler, or at least a Warren and a crony, having some comments here. Speaking of Gensler, here he is with a totally not Photoshop photo. SEC crypto fines surge to 4.68. We're missing 10 million in 2024. 4.68 billion in 2024, more than all other years combined. What does this say to you? This screams like Banana Republic stuff. Like, I get it. You're going to have some fines. But when your fines totally eclipse all other years combined, that smells a little fishy.
Yeah.
Smells a little fishy. Maybe, some encroachment, maybe overstepping some powers right there. I don't think there's anything wrong with going after bad actors. There's nothing wrong trying to shut down a scammy site or a scammy exchange. But when all your fines for the year, and it's only September, eclipse every other year combined, I can't help but think that, maybe there's something weird going on, to use that famous word. The SEC requested an extension to move the discovery deadline in the Coinbase lawsuit 5 months, October 18th to February 18th here. Basically, the lawyers don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't have their ducks in a row. They don't have their T's crossed here. And so they're pulling in records amounts of money. They don't even know how to handle a regular lawsuit here or a regular litigation issue. I'm rooting for Coinbase. We're rooting for Brian Armstrong. It's not just because we have the same haircut here. So, of course, we want Coinbase to win the lawsuit against the SEC. And there's going to be several coins that pump off of this news. SEC has named specific altcoins. And we've done videos naming those altcoins, saying which ones are going to pump harder than the others. Cody was on the early list, but Cody's, basically dwarfed a lot. It's got a lot of gains lately. Cardano's on that list, BNB's on that list, Polygon's on that list. Do you remember any of those coins that you just kind of remember being bullish on?
On that list specifically?
Yeah, it was like 19 coins. I think Phantom was on there, Injective was on there,
Avalanche,
Aave,
I think, was on there.
Avalanche was on there. Yeah, I like Avalanche. Pretty bullish on Avalanche. This is exposing the corruption. I was hinting at the corruption. Now let's just full blown say they are corrupt here. Silvergate bankruptcy, how the Fed's Operation Choke Point 2.0, that isn't a move that you see at a Diddy freak off, although I've heard it's been there, collapsed crypto banking. Now, you collapse after the freak off. That's why you need the IV drip. I'll try not to mention Diddy again for the rest of the episode. Nick Carter exposed Operation Choke Point 2.0, which played a central role in pushing this bank into bankruptcy. It was the Silvergate Bank. And so he recently exposed how they played that crucial role. He added that as part of Operation Choke Point 2.0, Biden's regulators, the Fed, FDIC, and the OCC, systematically cracked down on banks serving the crypto space. I see you guys putting out the coins. All right. Uni, that's also another good one. Amid the mounting regulatory pressure, Silvergate had to file Chapter 11. Carter rejects all previous reports that the bank failed to due to market losses and exposure. He said despite facing significant redemptions following the collapse, they were solvent. Back in July, an FTX official blamed Silvergate for their questionable transactions. However, he noted that their directives to drastically reduce crypto-related deposits to less than 15% of its businesses ultimately led to its demise. At one point, I endeavored to make is that Silvergate died by murder, not suicide. That was the key quote I wanted right there. Yeah, so Silvergate, this bank that wasn't breaking any laws, had laws that changed around them that basically led to their demise. That smells like a murder to me, not a S word. I'm probably already deboosting. Folks, could we get some likes? I just said some bad words. They're going to try to deboost us. The Google overlords are going to try to stop us. The YouTube overlords don't want you to have financial freedom. So smash that like button. Really does help us out. Where are we on likes?
We're looking at about 1,200 or 1,100 people in here right now, 325 likes. So come on, it's a Friday. We can, even if half of you hit it, we're up over 600 pretty easy. So if you could stop what you're doing. If you're on mobile, sometimes you have to turn your phone sideways. Sometimes you have to close the live chat, hit like, jump right back in. If you could do that, we'd really appreciate it. Like you said, it goes a long way to spreading the message of crypto and helping everybody, more people learn about crypto. And the more people that learn, the more people that could potentially buy. The more people that buy, the more they pump your bags.
OK says, I remember when Nick Carter was in the Backstreet Boys, quite the pivot.
Yeah, he went from singing on stages and selling out arenas worldwide to being a proponent of Bitcoin and shilling it and fighting the government suppression of Bitcoin. It is quite the story.
You know what he says on Red Day in the crypto markets?
What's that?
Tell me why.
I knew that was
ain't nothing but a. All right, Nate Garassi. Well, this is quite the thread. It's kind of going over the Operation Choke 0.0. Regulators made it impossible for banks servicing a particular legal industry to operate. In doing so, they actively caused the collapse of certain banks, namely Silvergate Signature. Those banks did not die by suicide, but by murder right there. So really good breakdown. Good job, Nick Carter. He's one of the better actors in the space out there. Yeah. And sports a stylist mustache.
Yeah, and he won his fight pretty good too. Again, I forget who he fought, but yeah, pretty cool guy in the space. Also, we've got JT in the chat, one of our members, asking if there is a member stream today. Yes, there will be a member stream just immediately following this show.
Yep.
So when we wrap this, it'll be about 11:45 ish when we finish this up. DZ will go start that immediately from his computer. And for those of you who didn't watch last week, we actually Around the Blockchain is back today, so we'll have some guests on there. Be prepared for that. That's 3 o'clock, correct?
Yes. Okay. And if you didn't watch the member stream last week, I gave the secret formula to KFC's 11 herbs and spices.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I gave that.
You covering the Coke
I actually used to have that from 4chan. I don't know if it was real or not, but that was leaked over a decade ago. I think it's out there. I think it's actually public knowledge. I'm sure they suppressed it.
Did you ever try using the recipe?
I did not. I didn't cook as much then as I do now. Yeah. I was just a 4chan rat hanging out in the basement, everybody. Reading the threads on Bitcoin saying, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep buying silver. It's the better move. buying silver in 2011.
JP Morgan's suppressing it, and as soon as it stops, it's going to pump amazing, right?
Guys, you don't know about paper silver, okay?
Right.
No. Yeah, Bitcoin white paper. Shut up. I'm trying to tell you about paper silver.
Yeah,
that's
the reverse repos. Come on.
Oh, man. Anyways, Ethereum core devs agree to split the latest ETH upgrade. It's called Pectra. Has nothing to do with pectoral muscles. Upgrade into a multi-phase rollout. This is going to happen a ways from now. So this is going to set to launch early 2025, meaning potentially Q2 2025. So it's going to have just a lot of upgrades. It's going to have 8 different improvement proposals. There's going to be a story you're going to hear a lot more about. Pectra upgrade. Really not too much is going to happen if everything happens smoothly. But if it fails, ETH will have a very, very red day.
Let me ask you this. How are you feeling? Okay, so we were talking about it a little bit this morning about, I'll say this is the first time in a long time I felt that fun feeling of checking your phone for prices in the morning and the prices actually moved up overnight. Like, hey, it's up more tonight than when I went to sleep. This is amazing. But you brought up a good point today too of seeing waking up in Bitcoin mostly being flat and seeing Ethereum up and some other altcoins up. How are you feeling? Obviously, we've Benjamin Cowan's covered it a lot. We've seen we covered it a week or two ago with the ETH BTC pair sliding down towards the bottom end of that range, 0.4% or something like that, or 0.3 or whatever that number was. Do you think we're close to the bottom of that pair where now Ethereum starts to make is Ethereum showing more strength against Bitcoin to you now for the next few months?
Here's the number one reason I'm more bullish on the ETH Bitcoin trading pair than ever. Who do you think is most famous for saying Bitcoin dominance is going to rise?
Well, in our world, Benjamin Cowan.
Benjamin Cowan. He screams it from the mountaintops. He's got his head up on Mount Rushmore and he's just like booming down, like, show me what you got, Bitcoin dominance. He is flipped.
Okay.
And he's saying Bitcoin dominance is going to reduce. He's been kind of saying it's going to happen around Q4, but he's saying with the rate cuts. And I've done a video a couple weeks back on the rate cuts and what the rate cuts do to altcoins specifically. And it seems like as we head into a riskier environment, investors are more comfortable investing in things besides Bitcoin. So that's what ends up leading to an alt pump. So yeah, I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin dominance retreating from these levels. In fact, I've won steak dinners on this topic there. So
yeah,
I've been right in the past.
Just looking at it, obviously Bitcoin much closer to its all-time high than Ethereum is right now. Ethereum, I think it hit 4K or just over back when Bitcoin was up around 70. Now Bitcoin's not too far from 70. Ethereum all the way down at 2,500. So it has, in my opinion, a lot of upside to close this gap here. And we could see a $4,000 Ethereum very soon. With just a $70,000 to $75,000 Bitcoin. So it'll be really interesting to see how that starts to play out the next couple months.
Thoughts on Chainlink? I like wooden fences more than Chainlink. You can see through Chainlink. If you want to know my thoughts on the crypto, come join the member stream. To sum it up, we're all bullish on it. We all like it. Ether is going to shine again, according to Steno Research.
Oh, wow. I front ran it. Sorry.
Say what?
I just front ran this story. I didn't realize
it's
you
all
were about
good. It's going to shine again. Everybody saying there's the interest rate cut will fuel increase on-chain activity. It's going to be good for the Ethereum blockchain. And so the underperformance may be over. So the recent underperformance may be over, and the world's second largest crypto could be ready to shine again, both in fiat terms and relative to Bitcoin terms. I would agree with that. Let's just pull it up. Let's just pull up the ETH BTC trading pair. Might as well. That's going to be a little bit more impactful than this article. Yeah, look at this. This is the 4-hour chart. Now, we've seen bullish breakouts in the past. But yeah, I would say that's, but look what happened here, folks. So we got to watch over the next few days to see if this is going to be a sustained rally.
No, I mean, it's been getting crushed, over the last year, basically.
Yeah, you got to go to the weekly to see, really, because it's been a lot lower in the past. But it's at a pretty strong support level right here. This blue line, I drew it out. Oh, this was this is 004 range. I didn't get it quite close enough. You can see 0395 or no, I do got it. It's the blue line, 04001. This is 1 ETH equals 4% of a Bitcoin. For whatever reason, it's just strong. It's just a strong level. It's been a strong level in the past. See, perfectly rejected, perfectly rejected, perfectly rejected. Very drunkenly acted as support there. And so I would say 0.4 has been strong support in the past. I feel like it's going to hold. Okay. No one knows for sure.
Let me ask you this. $4,000 Ethereum before the end of 2025. Yes or no?
No.
I mean, 24. Yeah. Like before the end of this year.
Yeah, before the end of this year. That's what I thought. No. Q1, I can see it. I can see it repeating 2021. We all thought it was gonna, start pumping first few months, and it just kind of pumped at its own timeline. So I would say something similar. Plus, we still have, a potential BlackRock pivot. All it takes is one Bitcoin report, to pump Bitcoin. All it takes is one ETH report to pump Ethereum. All it takes is Larry Fink to go up on CNBC or Fox Business News and be like, "Oh, Ethereum sound money," and then it's going to be bullish for the next 2 months.
Well,
so ETH could pivot quickly.
One thing I will say, they're kind of saying it without saying it. They talk a lot about tokenization.
Yes,
and that's Ethereum. They're talking about Ethereum when they're saying tokenization. Now, they might be talking about other things built on top of Ethereum that they might use to do it. But I mean, Chainlink, a lot of these other projects, Aave, a lot of these things are all built on Ethereum. Like Base that uses the OP stack, that's Ethereum, so Ethereum still is the backbone of this industry, especially when it comes to DeFi and tokenization. So when BlackRock's talking about tokenization, they are still bullish on things outside of Bitcoin. Real quick, King of Chaos says, I bought Bonfida. I assume that's how you say it. Bonfida. After one of DZ's videos, massive pump this week. Huge shout out. So there you go.
Yeah. It was just a bullish project. It's one of those ones. It's like if you're doing something cool, there's a demand for it. The market price will catch up eventually. Speaking of the market price, ETH Foundation sold more ETH. Now they just spent just sold $750,000. They have now sold $2.27 million worth, with sales happening every 4 to 7 days. I am not concerned about this at all. I don't think it's the ETH Foundation saying ETH is dead. I don't think they're losing conviction in ETH's price. This is probably just short-term capital reallocation. If I had to guess, TJ, I'd say they're maybe buying a property or something. What do you think's happening here?
No, I mean, I think it's probably used for either
legal fees,
development, payroll stuff, legal stuff.
I can imagine they have insane legal bills.
Yeah, regulation related stuff. Maybe who knows? Maybe they're putting together a big marketing campaign for 2025.
Maybe they're forming a team. I don't know. Who knows? All right, we have a Base on ETH, the fastest growing ecosystem in the history of blockchains. You see the surge in June when smart wallets, were released. That's, I believe, a nice little pump started right there, right around June. And what's our favorite Base project, TJ?
Aerodrome Finance.
It is Aerodrome Finance, folks. I did not buy enough during this dip. This is just the 1 month chart we're looking at right here. I think I got a little maybe on the way down, like closer to that range right there. But if we look at the back to the 1 month, look at some of this recent price action, TJ.
It's a good project.
7 days, 37%.
Jeez.
14-day, 56% pump just in the last 2 weeks there. Now, I think I'm maybe down slightly on my average buy-in. I'm bullish on this project. We were telling you about it around here. I think I just stupidly bought some, like, maybe not $1.89, but I think maybe around this dip, I was like, oh, it could be an opportunity. Went a little bit lower. I'd have to check my average price, but long-term bullish on Aerodrome, just like I was long-term bullish on FIDA. It's a stronger project. It has fundamentals. Aerodrome, if you don't know, it's kind of trying to be the DeFi hub for Base.
Yeah, it's basically the DEX. And part of why I'm so bullish on it is Coinbase just launched that Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. They're using Aerodrome to facilitate that process. They're using Aerodrome to take Bitcoin and convert it to wrap Bitcoin on Base. So there will be an insane amount of volume there. They're closely linked to Coinbase. In my mind, you can't buy Base token. Obviously, Coinbase hasn't made a token. So the easiest way to participate in the underlying ecosystem of Base and kind of have exposure to all things on Base is Aerodrome, kind of like Osmosis is on Cosmos, or maybe Uni a little bit on Ethereum.
Yeah, and when I go to the Base ecosystem, you're seeing multi-chain ecosystems. Aerodrome is the first like Base only chain, because you're seeing a lot of bridges and a lot of stable coins and a lot of DeFi projects that have like multi-chain support there. But yeah, I would say very, very bullish on Aerodrome Finance just being like the primary Base only coin on this list there. Back to Link here. Yeah, Link sentiment is turning bullish. However, smart money equals bearish. Check out their sentiment and other crypto. So the crowd sentiment loves it. Smart money is neutral on it. I do think smart money will catch up with the crowd sentiment. We just need, there's allegations Sergey dumps on us. I don't know how true that is, folks. I'm not looking at his wallet like that. But yeah, Chainlink is going to have a very bullish period as well. Sui, we did the video last night about 15 hours ago. So go check that out.
Yeah,
if you're
perfect
wondering why
timing. Actually, we just got a question in the chat. Where did it go? Juliano Carlos still is SWE still a good buy? Another one of those questions. So.
Yeah, you gotta watch. So I have different timelines, and I'll go ahead and tell you what I did with the SWE video, and so then you can make your own decision. SWE just got a major integration. You know what I'm talking about here, TJ?
Yes.
It was what? Circle. So SWE just added USDC. I look back at 4 different chains that are very similar. I look at Avalanche, I look at Polygon, I look at Near, I look at one more, and I say, what happened with this coin when they added USDC? What happened 30 days later? What happened 90 days later? And can we use that as a I would say foundation to look at SWE's price range? And so, I would say, just to answer your question, no. But if you're looking for a pump and to sell in 2 weeks, then yeah, don't buy it. You have to watch the video to see.
But no, I mean, a lot of these projects, when people are asking, is it too late? It's Bitcoin kind of stands on its own with that question. And, it almost, no matter when you ask me, no, it's not too late to buy Bitcoin. It's kind of the life raft. It's like, when is it too late to get a life raft if you're on a sinking boat? Never. You probably want to grab that life raft as soon as you see it. But with a lot of these altcoins, they're on some short-term pumps right now because they absolutely got decimated over the course of the year.
Yeah.
But that's okay to be accumulating on what feels like a pump if you know that this is a hold through next year of 2025. So absolutely not too late to buy SWE, in my opinion. I think SWE has a potential to be one of the better plays over the course of this bull run. That being said, it's already a pretty reasonably high market cap project. It's not top 10, but it's up there. So SWE, definitely a good pick. Solana, there's a lot of really good things you could be accumulating right now, and we will see insane. I still think a lot of people have muted expectations based on the way that the market has acted for the last, through the last cycle, the last 4 or 5 years. I think people are going to be shocked at the amount of money people make on some of these altcoins.
Yeah, and Juliano also asked, could it act like Solana? Solana is actually one of the coins I compare it to. So you really need to go watch that video.
Just go watch that video. It's a good video.
All right, we got Rose Premium Signals. They normally go around a nightclub right before last call and then try to coerce you to buy a flower for your date. But Rose Premium, Avalanche is... I wanted to show this because this tweet is like only 7 hours old. The breakout happened in the subsequent time since from posting this to now. Avalanche consolidating within a symmetrical triangle pattern, price facing a rejection from both resistance trend line and the moving average. A clear breakout is needed to confirm next upward move. Well, what happened on the 4-hour chart here?
Oh,
whoa, look at that. Yeah, they literally made the tweet right here. Right there. That's the 4 a.m. I'm hovered over 4 a.m. So they made the post. And then the thing just started going nuts, everyone. So, Avalanche has broken out. I just wanted to share this. They did have the first resistance area going to be this period right here. So, $27 right now. Look for a little resistance around $33. I would say this, directionally pretty accurate. I would maybe come in a little bit lower. I would say it might start around these wicks right here. So, I would say $31. Probably going to start seeing some, wow. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, I'm calling it. It's happening right there, folks. Bluff City, forget about Moonwell on that base coin, LOL. Literally listing on Coinbase in probably a week or so. Forgot about Moonwell. So, he's trying to give you the alpha, folks. Well, we'll see.
Well, I mean, but I will say, no, his name does start with the word bluff. So maybe it's a bluff. I don't know.
He's lying to me.
It's a bluff.
He's shorting it.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We don't know anything about that coin. Obviously, you do your own research.
TJ, they took down the dancing video. So Solana had some news. Here's some top announcements from Breakpoint. Did you see the Solana dancing?
Yeah, I saw it very,
Dude,
very,
it got
very
taken
briefly.
down.
Wow. Not too shocked.
There's a Solana moment where this guy was on stage and he was doing the Diddy shuffle.
Yeah.
Get down, baby. Get down. And then they put the famous TikTok audio where it's just sneakers scuffing like a hardwood floor.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty funny. I've seen it popularized on a Taylor Swift post. I guess there's a music video. She has a cringe dance segment. But at Solana Breakpoint here, people gather. They want to see what the big news was. So we got a Franklin Templeton's move here. Could be a pretty big game changer. If you don't know, Franklin Templeton plans to launch a mutual fund on the Solana blockchain. So that was a big announcement there. We also had Jupiter Exchange, had some pretty big announcements. They announced that they acquired Solana FM, a native data explorer, not a radio. That would be cool, though. And they also acquired CoinHall, a leading Cosmos aggregator. Also, the big news, Jupiter Mobile going to be coming. So that's going to be really, really big for the Solana degens. I would say Solana, as a percentage, has more phone traders than any other chain, except for maybe Ton. When you compare it to Ethereum, you compare it to Cardano, especially compared to Bitcoin, I would say a high percentage of Solana transactions are just done on their mobile. So very, very big news for Jupiter. I would say even the Jupiter token.
Yeah.
We also had we had Wallet Connect introduce Solana App Kit, so some toolkits for the nerds out there. So we got a lot of Solana news happening right now.
Yeah, a lot of big stuff coming out of the breakpoint. I mean, there was some integrations with like Apple Pay and Google Pay, Samsung Pay for certain stuff. I think it was Jupiter had that worked in there, or one of those payments where they could. No, maybe it was Phantom. It was the Phantom wallet when you will allow buys directly from those payment services now, which is actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I love Phantom. Phantom's a good wallet here. Citibank also exploring Solana's potential, looking to utilize blockchain technology for money transfers. We're getting a lot of Solana stuff, and also PayPal. The bigger news: PayPal speaker claims Ethereum isn't the optimal solution for payments. And so PayPal, of course, they have their stablecoin PYUSD, and they're saying Solana's better. That means Solana is done breaking. The chain went down over a dozen times, where you literally can't do anything. And I'm not talking about a lot of people trading meme coins and 80% of transactions failed. No, I'm talking about the entire chain went down. So PayPal saying, oh, it's better than ETH. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, what are they going to retract that statement if Solana breaks down again? Or do you think this is signaling maybe Solana's finished breaking down?
No, I think what they're signaling is they've made their decision. They're saying they've come to the determination that they want to use Solana. And, for however they got to that conclusion, who knows? I do think Solana will have more substantial or longer runtime, uptime, and less failures in the future. I do think it's obviously it's not a good thing that there are failures on it. Ethereum. Well, what do you?
I made the Camino video. Probably around here. Would it go out 2 days ago?
Ooh,
2 days ago, probably at 7 p.m. I don't know if it's 7 p.m. This is 8 p.m. This is 6 p.m. That means we maybe release the video right here.
Wow.
On Camino. Ask me how much Camino I bought.
How much Camino did you buy?
I actually bought a little, but it was barely any, man. It was barely any. Actually, I bought it on the video for the video, and it was just like a smaller 2 Solana.
Yeah.
It was 2 Solana. Because I actually wanted to tell people, like, it's not that hard to buy. Just go here, boom, bang, boom. I bought some Camino. I just put 2 Sol in it. Think I'm up. I'm up. So, congrats if you aped in with DZ on Camino. You're going to be wearing a kimono soon.
And again, guys, if you don't have notifications on,
you're dumb.
Well, no, this is the part of the cycle when you need to do it. Turn them off and turn them back on if you have to. If you're not getting notifications and jumping on, we're going to be doing more of these specific coin videos in the future as we're getting into 2025. We haven't been doing it as much because it hasn't quite been altcoin season, but now that we're moving towards altcoin season, now is the time to start really digging into some of these deeper coins because they're going to move up and you're against Bitcoin and you're not going to get wrecked against Bitcoin. You guys know, I've told you a lot. We've been heavy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink until about this point in the cycle. This is the time we're looking now to allocate. I'm even considering I've some Cosmos and Atom stuff, taking that into some deeper coins. We're going to be doing a video on some AI projects based on, again, BlackRock and Microsoft pouring billions into AI. Crypto, there's some top crypto AI projects that will definitely benefit. They're putting more money into AI than is in the entire market cap of all AI coins. So,
I like chats. We got the smartest chat out there. Chat Disco fam. I mean, you guys are rocking the bell bottoms before they were cool. You're at Studio 54. You're like you didn't even have to wait in line. All right. You just walk right in. We love our Disco fam here. Fire Up is fired up. They're signaling they don't understand blockchain. Ooh, burn. We also have what they're signaling is they have no fucking clue. Good one there.
Talking about PayPal.
Yeah, talking about PayPal. Eric Carlson, PayPal backing Solana is more of a reason to avoid Solana. So yeah, people got strong feelings. And folks, if you do want to, someone else asked about Quant. What happened to Quant? Well, the VCs quit showing it love, and the price reflected that. Folks, if you're in Quant, you want to get into a hot Solana token, we want to give a big shout out to Houdini Swap. They have 4,000 tokens across all chains. Typed in Quant. Let's just type in the letter Q. the most seldom used letter in the alphabet, and they still have tons and tons of Q chains there. So over 4,000 tokens across all chains. So big shout out to Houdini Swap. We got a link down below. Back to Solana Breakpoint. There's some other pretty funny news. Iggy says she wasn't allowed to twerk at Solana Breakpoint because it would go too viral. Basically, they have very strong streaming laws in Singapore. There's a lot of people hesitant to film anything while in that country. And so she was going to have a debate with a very famous crypto guy. They canceled it after she wasn't allowed to twerk, or she canceled it, rather, I should say. And then last but not least, we got Bored Ape, got Dookie Dash Unclogged launching the $1 million in prizes. Big shout out to Taco. I think Taco's going to stream it. Taco's actually really good at this game and has a shot of maybe capturing some of this $1 million in prizes. There might be some pretty fun streams to check out there. Shout out to the DGen Alpha Gaming going on over there. Fade and Tradfi though says Solana is gonna eat. I'm bullish on Solana, bullish on the ecosystem. I think it's a fair question though to say chain is shut down in the past. Is that going to affect any kind of future performance or future price action? That's what we're here to do. We're here to look at future price action so we can navigate the waters a little bit more calmly and not get chopped up and not get eaten by the sharks or swallowed up by a whale. And folks, if you enjoyed this stream, it's a Friday stream. We're going to have the membership stream right after this, starting right now. Hit that like button on the way out. TJ, any parting message?
No, yeah. If you guys want to join the member stream, look for that join button. That's how you do it. Happy Friday. Enjoy the pumps. May your trades ever be in your favor. And we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.